Hello everyone, welcome back. Folks, my name is Juan and today we have chair strength. I hope that you are feeling great. I hope that you're ready for a good workout. What we will use today is our chair, and make sure you have a nice sturdy one that's not going to move beneath you. We will use a resistance band and we're going to use a pair of hand weights. Now, the hand weights, if you don't actually have a pair of dumbbells like I do, you have options. You can use maybe 2 water bottles. You may use canned food or anything small that you can easily grip in your hands to add a little external resistance. Now, if you do not have any of the above, or if you don't feel like using any external resistance, you can just use body weight. What I ask before we do begin, just take a moment, start from head to toes, do a full body scan. How are we feeling? Is there any area that might need a little extra love, maybe a little extra attention? Just take a quick, scan. If you do know that there is one part that needs, that little, finesse, please be sure to give it to yourself. Otherwise, I want you to push yourself as hard as you feel is appropriate today and have fun. Folks, let's please sit up nice and tall. I'd like for you to scoot to the front edge of your seat so that we're not tempted to lean back or round in our spine. I want you to keep a nice neutral spine. We're going to start with some big inhalations. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let's exhale through our mouth. Again, we inhale, big inhale. Big exhale. Now with the next breath, we're going to bring our arms up to the sky. With the exhale, we're going to bring our arms out and down. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms come down. Keeping your hands on your thighs. With the next inhale, we're going to lift our chest. Exhale, we're going to drop our chest towards our lap. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, we drop towards our lap. One more, big inhale. Now that big exhale follows. Let's all sit up nice and tall and introduce some marching legs. Now our upper body, we're still nice and erect. We have a neutral spine, chest remains lifted. As we march, I want you to be aware of how hard you're hitting the floor. How much impact are you putting into it? Remember, that impact comes right back into our joints, so we want to minimize it. And by minimizing it, we're using more of our own muscles to control that deceleration, right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for as much muscular engagement as we can. If you haven't brought in your arms, start introducing your arms to this march so it becomes more full body. Now bring yourself to a nice rested position. I want your legs to come a little further apart than they were. At this point, we have a little external rotation starting from the hips. Knees follow, toes follow our knees. From here, we're just going to reach to the floor laterally, side to side. So I want you to reach down on the right, come up, reach down on the left. We reach, and we reach. Bring it back into a march. Now these marching feet, I want you to start in the middle. We're gonna march out wide, back to center. We're going back and forth. So it's out, in, in. Let's switch. Left foot takes the lead. Out, in. Now we're going to march in place right here in the center. Now we're going to march our feet as we start walking forward, almost like you're sneaking forward. Then you start to march back. Again, bring those legs out in front. Now march them back. Again, we march out, forward, march back. One more time, march your legs as far forward as you can. Now march them back towards you. Legs are nice and wide. Reach down for the right, reach down to the left. We reach and reach. So pretend like you're picking up something from the floor. Chest does not collapse into our lap, so your chest should be facing me the whole time. You should be able to be looking right at me this whole time. We're really focusing on lateral flexion for our spine. Using that lateral body, our obliques are doing a whole lot of work here. All right, bring it up to a neutral seated position. Walk your feet back to center and march again. We're gonna take this march and make it alternating toe taps. Tap, tap. Now with the alternating toe taps, I want the opposite arm to reach out in front. What's that? I'm challenging your coordination. Me? Of course I am, you know me. So here we have another one for us. How about, rather than with our arms reaching forward, let's have that arm reach out laterally. Oh, that's even trickier, right? So as we're tapping forward with one leg, the opposite leg is reaching out to the side. And good, nice work. Folks, again, we're gonna sit up nice and tall. I want you to give me 2 really big arm circles. Start at the center of your chest with your arms making an X. Reach up, out, and back to that X. Up, out, X. Big, big circles, almost like you're making the, like a sun salutation arm, right? Big, big circles. Now place your hands on top of your thighs. With your right arm, I want you to reach over towards the left corner. Pull. Again, reach all the way up. Pull 2 more times. Right arm reaches diagonally. Pull that elbow down and back. Good. Bring your arms back to that X. Big circles. Place both hands on top of your thighs. Again, your left arm, you're going to reach up diagonally, pull that elbow down. Again, reach. We pull that elbow. Let's do it 2 more times. Reach, pull the elbow. 1 more time, reach, and pull the elbow. Nice work. Folks, at this point, our entire body should be feeling warmer than we began, and we should be ready to jump into the actual workout. Not actually jumping though, right? Starting with our lower body, I'd like you to reach for or grab your resistance band. please grab your band, each end. You're going to drop it right in front. So I want you to identify where the middle of that band is, and you're going to step on it, placing it below the center of your foot. Now, once you have the band there, I want you to grab for like the middle section, so this way you have enough resistance. You're going to sit up tall. You're going to pull your elbows back so that you have them almost like you're in a rowing position, lifting your right leg off of the ground and being mindful of what's happening in your spine. You're trying to keep yourself neutral here. Just extend your leg. So it's a press. Press out. Bend it in. Press that leg out. Every time you press, I want you to contract and squeeze in your quadriceps. We have one remaining. Nice. Let's carefully bring that foot back to the floor. You're going to lift that leg and now shift over to the left side. So in that same spot, you're going to step on the band, trying to remember exactly where you grabbed the band so that both sides work with the same amount of resistance. Sitting up tall, keeping your spine as extended or erect as possible. Lift up your left leg and we just extend out. Press. With each press, we are contracting our quadriceps, really trying to maximize the strengthening and the muscle tension. One last one. Press all the way out. Nice work. Let's carefully place that foot back on the floor and we can release the band. Now these bands have a tendency to bind to themselves. So if yours kind of gets stuck like mine does, just carefully undo it. Now you can place it on the chair behind you. Still sitting at the edge of our seats. We're going to shift our focus to our outer hip, specifically one side at a time. So what I would like you to do, sit up tall. You have the option to place your hand on the sides of your chair if you want to help support your lower back. Otherwise, you're just going to sit tall, and we are going to start with our legs, both feet right in front of us. With your right leg, I want you to slide out, moving from the hip. So notice where my leg is right now. My move originated in my hip, but my knee and my ankle followed. So real quick, look at my leg. What I'm not doing is I'm not leaving my foot here in the middle. So I'm not moving my hip and letting my foot just stay. But I'm also not moving from the foot where my knee twists and my hip doesn't really do anything. So why do I point out what not to do? Because we have to always think of what's safe, right? And we have to make sure that we are maximizing our range of motion while also maximizing the safety of our joints. Now I'm going to be paying close attention to you. I'll be looking at your move, making sure that we're all doing it correctly. So right side, this is the actual set of repetitions. We're going to slide that foot out, lift it, bring it back to center, slide it out. Every time you slide, if you want to add a little resistance, you do so by pressing down into the floor. My foot stays flat, my joints are in alignment with one another, my outer hip is doing all of the work. Okay. Hopefully your right side hip is already talking. Let's let our left side join the conversation. So again, we sit tall, we slide that whole lower limb out. 10. Lift and bring it to center. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Nice work. Folks, we've got to balance ourselves. So if we just work those outer hips, now we've got to get a little of the inside of our leg included. So what I would like, I'm going to make fists with both of my hands. I'm placing both of my hands right on the inside of my thigh. Preferably, I like to place them not right up at the knee, but just maybe like an inch away from where my knee is. Keeping my hands there, walking my feet to center. I'm going to do some small inner thigh pulses. So I'm just squeezing my legs together by pulsing in, release, pulse. Every time I'm really squeezing my inner thighs together, trying to isometrically contract as much as I can, getting the inside really working. 4 more. And rest. Nice job. I don't know about you, but that last exercise was very heat building. Okay, first move that we will use our hand weights. So I would like you to carefully reach for your hand weights. If yours are below your chair like mine are, please keep in mind, our head always stays above our heart. So carefully leaning down, pulling our weights out. Okay. So this move is a hip hinge. We've done this before, but I will quickly just remind you. When we're hinging at the hip, our back, spine, it remains neutral. So it's moving like one unit. We're moving from down here. What I want, so without the weight, what it's going to look like is almost like you're leaning forward to tell me a secret. Once you're forward, you're going to engage in your glutes, squeezing them, sit up. So you lean forward, squeeze your glutes, sit up. The whole time, my back has not rounded. So I would like for you to please don't let your back round. Now, how do we hold our weights? I like to keep the weights right at the sides of my body. Right here, so my arm doesn't really have to do any work. My arm is just the lever. Now I'm gonna lean forward, hinge forward. The weights come closer to the floor. Squeeze your glutes, lift. Shh. Inhale coming down, exhale coming up. Every time you come up, remember that you're squeezing your glutes. So those muscles that we're sitting on, you're trying to get them nice and contracted every time we come up. We have 5 repetitions remaining, all the way up. Lean forward, squeeze up. Lean forward, squeeze up. 2 more. One last one. Nice. Let's place those weights on the floor at our sides. Whew. How are you feeling? How are your glutes? I hope that they're feeling a little shaky. Folks, reach for your band. We're right back at the top of this circuit. So we're going to hold on to the ends of our band. We're gonna bring the band itself down to the floor so that we can step on the center of it with our right foot. Pick how much resistance you want by grabbing on the actual band itself, somewhere at the center. Sit up nice and tall, right leg comes up with you. Bent knee to begin. With every exhale, you press. Inhale coming up. Five remain. Nice job. Let's bring our right foot to the floor. Remove the band, and we're going to step on it with our left side. Remember where you grabbed the band before, so you can grab it again. Sit up nice and tall. Your right or your left knee comes up towards your chest. Take a deep breath. With the exhale, press. One last one, make it your best. Squeeze. Nice. The left foot comes to the floor. Let's remove that band. Good. So the band comes behind us. Okay, now we focus first on the outer hip. It's called our Gluteus Medius. I know a lot of you work with me privately, or many of you have been taking these classes with me for now a year. So you've heard me talk about this area of our body a lot. It's very, very important when it comes to our balance, right? So we all want to remain upright. We want to remain independent, so we have to keep strong hips. As you open your leg out, or as you externally rotate from the hip, I want you to really be aware of how much friction or tension you're putting down towards the ground. That's increasing resistance, right? The more we put in, the more we're working. But again, be mindful of your joints. Let's go. Right side, we open. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Left side, please. Open. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one last one. Nice. Take both of your hands right in the center of your thighs. Sitting up tall. 10 pulses, please. Let's go. Squeeze in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Well done. Hip hinges. focusing on the glutes. Reach for your weights. If you're not already at the edge of your seat, please get to the edge of your seat. Our weights come down towards the ground. Lean towards me. Squeeze your glutes, lift up. Hinge, squeeze and lift. Every time I lift, I am exhaling. Two more. Last one. Well done. Place those weights on the floor. Folks, let's take a moment to catch our breath. Check in. How are you feeling? Does everything feel okay? Hopefully the answer is yes. Okay, we have one more set. Let's do it. Grab your band. Now we know the drill. Place the band below the center of our right foot. Now remember, it's our last time we're doing these, so if you want to make it even harder, you're going to grab the band a lot lower, so a lot closer to your foot. Sit up tall. Pull your elbows back. Your knee is up towards your chest. Contract, extend. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Shh. Nice. Well done. So this time, because I want to make sure that I have the exact same resistance, I'm not letting go of my band. I'm just going to bend over, remove my foot, still holding the band in the same place. Now I place my left foot right on that same spot. Sit up tall, lift your left knee, pull your elbows back, and let's go for it. Extend, press. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, woo, 4, are you feeling it? 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Place your foot down, let go of the band, place the band behind you. Whew. Okay, we're sitting up nice and tall, focusing on the right side first. Let's open up those hips. We're going to abduct from the hips. So I want you to also make sure you're pressing down into the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Left side, let's do it. No hesitation. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Let's bring both of our feet together right in the center so they're touching. We're sitting up tall. Our hands come to the center of our thighs. 10 pulses. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Every time I pulse, I'm really squeezing my inner thighs as tightly as I can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Those make me warm. How about you? Okay, hip hinges, final set. Remember, big muscles that we're working here. So, I want you to put all that laser focus in your glutes. And remember, our back should not be doing the work. So you should not feel it in your lower back. I want you to really focus on those muscles that we're sitting on. That's where we're working. Hinge forward, so you're leaning forward. Tell me a secret. Now, squeeze the glutes and sit up tall. Again, lean forward, squeeze it, come up. Forward, squeeze. Lean forward, squeeze it up. Again, lean, squeeze it up. You're not lifting the weights with your arms are just dangling at the sides. Squeeze it up. 4 more. Last 2. Make them your best. Really squeeze, engage. One last one. Lean forward, squeeze, sit up. Nice. Those weights come down to the sides of our chair. Whoo! We did it. Folks, if you want to shift your weight side to side, you're kind of giving your hips a little relief, almost like we're dancing in our chair. At this point, maybe you should reach for your water. Folks, with your hands on top of each thigh, sitting up nice and tall and right at the edge of our seats, let's please do some torso circles. All I would like is to get a little spinal mobility in there, as much as you can. And if your torso circle is like so tiny that you don't even really feel yourself moving, that's okay, as long as you are contracting in your abdominals. I want you to try to engage a little from your obliques, so your side body. I even want you to feel a little contraction in your low back. So the goal here is I'm just trying to really hug our spine, right? To kind of give it that support. We all feel supported when we have a nice tight hug, right? That's the idea. Now, if you are doing your circles right now, I want you to stop where you are and reverse the direction. Okay, thank you. Folks, we're going to move up our body, focusing on arms and upper back. So let's reach for both of our hand weights. Still sitting right at the edge of our seat. We're going to bring the weights down to the sides of our body, keeping our core braced. We're going into some alternating hammer curls. So I want your elbows to remain at the sides of your body. You're going to lift and curl your arm in the shape of a hammer. Now we're alternating, so we're doing one right followed by one left, and we're going to try to keep this looking nice and fluid. So we're working our biceps, right? But we're also working through our forearms, because our forearms are helping to stabilize the weight in our hands. Note my tempo. I know a lot of us like to move really, really fast. Please control your movement. I really want you to pace yourself. This way we rely on our muscular strength and not on momentum. Anyone can lift weights and throw them around by using momentum, but all that does is open the door for injury, and it doesn't really help us to really gain anything. If we're going to lift weights, we want to gain something. In this case, we're gaining strength. How about 2 more on each side? So here's right, up comes left, 1 more right, followed by left. Nice, let the weights just hang at the sides of our body. We're going to carefully place 1 weight on the floor. Okay. The weight that's remaining in your lap, I want you to just rest. Leave it on your thigh. This next exercise, we've done a variation of it. Typically we're using 2 weights, but today I decided only 1 weight because by throwing off our upper body balance, it forces our core, even if we're in a seated position, to turn on more. You're welcome. Always trying to make it a little more functional, a little more active. So again, we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to be carrying the weight on our right side. So before I ask you to pick up the weight, I'm going to just highlight one thing. If we're weighted on the right side, our body is going to want to do one of 2 things. It's going to either want to lean over to the right because it's weighted, or we're going to try to lean a little extra over to the left just to kind of help that lift. Neither one is acceptable. I want you to sit up nice and tall. You have to remain equalized, right? You have to keep your own balance, keep your postural alignment so that you're forcing the right side to do the work. You're forcing your left oblique to work too. So weights hanging down on the right side. My left hand, I like to place it on top of my thigh, and I'm going to lift laterally. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Grab the weight in your left hand. Your right hand comes down onto your thigh. Let's go. Lift laterally. 10. 9. Remember, you're sitting up nice and tall. You're posturally aligned. We have 5 remaining. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Rest that weight on top of your thigh. Well done. Please reach down, grab your second weight. So now we have both again. Now, still sitting at the front edge of your seat, I do recommend that you spread your legs a little wider than hip distance apart, so we have a good, solid foundation in our lower body. The weights are hanging down at the sides. Again, we're going to hinge forward. So kind of like that hip hinge movement, I want you to hinge forward, maybe at almost a 45-degree angle. Your chest is going to be facing out towards the floor in front of you. So we are not rounding through our spine, right? Still keeping a flat back. Here's a quick tip. If you're not sure that you can keep a flat back, or if you know that you can, but the weights are gonna throw that off, then I want you to do this exercise without holding your weights. But if you know that you can keep yourself here, flat back, therefore not compromising your lower spine or your erector spinae, then here we are. We're going to do a reverse fly. So the weights go from the sides of our body. We just open. Open. So I'm feeling the area right around my shoulder blades really working. Those rhomboids are really working. We have 5 remaining. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit up tall, rest the weights on your thighs. It's a big move, yes? I hope that your answer is yes. We're using big muscles in our back, so it requires a lot of oxygen. So right now I want you to catch your breath. Okay, we're going to keep both of these weights because we're right back at the top with our hammer curls. Sitting up tall, weights are at the sides of our body. Our elbows are right at the sides of our body. Shoulders are not helping to move these weights. It's all coming from the elbow joint. Right side, let's go, up. Left side comes up. I count 1 rep after each side is done. So we've just done 2. This is the beginning of the 3rd one. This is the other half of the 3rd one. Here's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Hang in there. 9. I know, it feels like a lot. We're almost there. 1 more. Each arm. Here's the right. Here's the left. Okay. Carefully place 1 weight on the floor. Take a moment, catch your breath. You're doing great, by the way. Okay, remember this next move, not only are we using our shoulders, but we're using our obliques, because our obliques, or these side abdominals, are what help and power our lateral flexion. So if I'm weighted on this side, it's my left oblique that is turning on and contracting to keep me stabilized. Now, on the last set, we had our non-working arm placed on top of our thigh. You may repeat that if you like, but if you want to maybe get or be slightly more challenged, I'm going to suggest that you just hang that arm down. What difference does it make? Try it. So the weight's on the right side, my left arm is just hanging, and I'm going to lift. I'm still remaining in control of the move, so I am pacing it. No momentum here. Let's go. 5, 4, 3. I know, I'm feeling it too. 2. Last one. Place that weight on top of your thigh. I can hear all of you sighing already. Ah, I know, I know. I feel it too. We're in it together. Let's place that weight, or let's grab that weight on our left side. So now my right hand, remember, you can place it on your thigh if you want to. But the challenge or the added progression, if you want to take it, is just to let that hand, the non-weighted hand, just hang at the side of your body. Okay, left side, let's lift laterally. Let's go. We have 10. Here's 5. Last 2. And last 1. Nice work. Place that weight on your thigh. Okay, as we catch our breath, remember this next move, it's a big move. So we've done it once. You have options. You don't have to carry the weights if you don't want to. You can just roll up your hands in little fists and just use your own body weight. Especially if you feel like carrying weights out this far is going to affect your ability to keep a neutral spine, then don't do the weights. Another option, if you are going to carry weights and you're leaning forward, maybe rather than extending your arms, you're going to keep your elbows bent. And so you're making the move, you're shortening the lever, so you're making it smaller. That's another option. If we want to talk about levers and how they affect your fulcrum, I'll spare you all the mechanics. So, whatever we've chosen, I've given you plenty of options. We're just going to hinge forward. Again, my chest is facing out at a diagonal forward towards the floor. I am not facing straight down, right? It's coming out. So, let's go. 10 reverse flies. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Nice work. Weights stay on our thighs. Just relax for a moment. Yeah. You know, I'm not sure if you're paying attention to when I'm counting, but I'm counting and I have to pause for a split second just because it does require a lot of breath. And if I keep moving, I will quickly lose my breath and be unable to count for you. So, yeah, I get it. I'm with you. But let's go ahead and bring it right back to the top of the set. Sitting up tall, weights at the sides of our body. We're focusing again on our biceps. So we have those hammer curls. Let's do it. Right. Left. Counting down from 10. Here's 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Here's right. left. Nice. Let's place one weight on the floor. Good. So folks, when we've done our previous lateral raises, we always began on the right side. Just for variety and just for fun, let's begin on the left. So the weight is in my left side, or on my left hand. My right hand, again, I'm gonna just let it dangle, because if I have it on my thigh, if I have it up, either way, that's going to help kind of support and balance the move, and I'm trying to throw off my balance. Or you know what? How about I'm gonna place it right up here across my chest. So I'm almost making it another part, I'm adding more weight to what my trunk has to support. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You feeling it? 4, 3. I'm feeling it. 2, 1. Nice. Okay. Got warm in here. So I have the weight now on my right side. I'm gonna decide what I do with my left hand. Okay, obviously you are in control of what you do. I'll place mine up here just to balance me out. Start with the weight at the side of my body, and let's go. We lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Take a moment for yourself. Just breathe. Okay, now let's reach for that other weight. We're going to hinge forward. You pick if your arms are going to start at full extension, reaching down for the ground, or if you're going to bend your elbows. Whatever you decide you're going to do, let's get those flies, or let's get that fly action happening. So we lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please sit up nice and tall. Let's place each weight on the floor at our sides. How are you feeling? Me too. Give me some hammer curl motion, but without the weight, just to release any tightness that might be still lingering in our arms. Maybe we're going to reach forward, pretend like you're pulling a rope. So reach up forward, pull that rope back. Reel me in, right? We went fishing, and we're pulling it all in. Okay. Folks, we have a couple things remaining. I'm going to move my weights a little further back just to keep them out of my way. Now, I'm already sitting at the edge of my seat. If you're not, please get yourself to the edge of your seat. Now, I want you to reach back so that you have a nice grip on the back of your chair. So the back of the seat, you're here. What this does is two things. Number one, it's going to really it's going to distribute your weight a little more evenly on the chair. But also, our arms are going to support our back so that we don't round. I want you to keep your back at full extension. Now, we're going to extend both of our legs out in front. So all I would like, toes are lifted up towards the sky, heels are touching the floor. Only your right leg, you're going to lift, tap. Every time you lift, I want you to notice how your lower abdominals really have to contract. Also notice how your quadriceps and your hip flexors down in your leg have to contract. Now let's switch over to the left side. Just lift, tap that heel. Lift and tap. Okay, we're going to stay in this position, just rest for a moment. We've done the right side, we've isolated on the left. What comes next? Both of them together, yeah? So again, I really want you to make sure that you're supporting your spine. So my hands are placed firmly on the back of my seat. I'm seated comfortably at the front edge of my seat, and I'm going to lift, up, tap, lift, tap. Four more. One last one. Nice. Sit up nice and tall. Folks, we did it. Well done. Just catch your breath. I know that was a lot. Folks, what I would like is for you to please interlace your fingers and extend your arms up overhead. When we extend up, we're keeping our shoulders relaxed. So I would like you not to let your shoulders lift up into your earlobes. Just extending those arms up, pushing your palms up towards the sky. I call this a palm tree. Now from here, we're going to spread our legs a little further apart so we have a nice wide foundation in our legs. Keeping my arms extended overhead, now I'm going to just slightly lean to the right so we're getting a stretch on our left obliques. Now we're going to come over, lean to the left. Nice and tall, and release your hands down to your thighs. Take a deep breath here. With the exhale, let's fold, dropping our chest towards our lap. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, drop the chest. Again, inhale all the way up. Nice work. Folks, let's take our hands and we're going to interlace them behind our back. Or if that doesn't work, you're just going to stack your hands above one another and just push away. Pull your shoulders back, lift your chest up. Sit up tall, so make sure if your head has dropped, lift your chin. Slightly lift your chin. And release. Nice work. Folks, place your hands on top of your thighs. Palms are up. Just let your hands relax. Maybe we hinge a little forward so that we can rest the forearms on top of our thighs. And our wrists have more mobility. Because now I want you to pull the tops of your hands down towards the ground, but then pull them back. So now we're using strength on the front of our forearm and the top of our hands, but we're feeling a little stretch through our actual forearm. And release. Roll out through the wrists. Okay, folks, sitting up tall, I'd like you to either cross your right ankle over your left ankle, or if your hip doesn't mind it, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. You pick. Try each one, see what you like, see what's comfortable. When you've decided on where you're going to be, then I want you to just lean slightly forward. So the goal is to feel a stretch on our right side hip. Sit up tall, uncross that leg. Now, other side, either cross your left ankle over your right ankle, or your left ankle over your right knee. Pay attention to what your hip wants you to do. Again, try each one. If you've made your selection, I want you to lean forward. I always pretend like I'm going to tell you a secret. Now we sit up tall, we uncross our legs. Folks, join me in taking one big breath. Both hands go all the way up to prayer. Inhale. Exhale, both hands down to heart center. Please join me in making a heart. I leave you with my love and my respect. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you soon.